before we go to public comment, Mrs. McHale, if you could highlight, there were some last-minute changes to the personnel and the EDR report. And so since those changes were made this afternoon, I just wanted to highlight them before we go to public comment, just in case anyone had already seen the agenda before that and had missed those additions.
Absolutely, and thank you for considering these last-minute items. As you know, this time of year is rather busy for us with our new hires and folks changing positions and reassignments, so we wanted to get on as many as we possibly could tonight. So we have two individuals who are taking on a 6th section at North Middle School this year. They are John Groller and Robin Murphy, so they are two additions to the agenda. We have two individuals who are extending a leave of absence, Mr. Kevin Fox and Ms. Sherry Orr. One is a custodian and one is a special assignment teaching assistant. And then our last change on the superintendent's personnel is for information purposes only. Chelsea D'Onofri is going into a reading specialist position at Sellersville. She is currently a Sellersville teacher. We did have a few, I think, on the EDR report as well. They would be coaching positions, and they are for the fall. We have Mr. Jacob Sands, head coach, Central Middle School football. Two assistant football coaches at Central Middle School, Christopher Embert and Sean O'Neill. Field hockey head coach at Central Middle School, Lauren Cromiller. And soccer head coach, Central Middle School, Andrew Maritsky. And James Connolly, North head soccer coach. Barrett Bobson, assistant soccer coach at Central. And those are all the changes, Ms. Bannis-Clemens.
Thank you, Mrs. McHale. Okay, the first person we have signed up is Maggie Bialis. Oh, sorry, I need to read the comment statement real quick. The Pennridge School Board welcomes public comment. According to Policy 903, we remind everyone of the following. Public comment shall be limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise specified by the board. Participants must be recognized by the presiding officer and note their name and municipality. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer rather than to individual board members, district employees, and members of the public. The speaker may speak once during each comment period. Please note that these sessions are designated for comments to protect the confidentiality and privacy rights of all members of our community. The board encourages members of the public to direct any comments regarding particular individuals, such as students or district employees, privately to the superintendent or other appropriate administrators or board members, or to communicate with the board and superintendent privately by sending an email to psdschoolboard@pennridge.org. Questions raised and not addressed may be followed up at a later time.
Hi, I'm Maggie Bialowas, and I live in Hilltown. I'm a parent of 2 and a high school teacher. I said as the summer rolls around, I know you'll be reviewing and updating policies for the next school year. While ALICE training has been implemented across the district and school police officers approved, there's still a lot to do. Even though school shootings on the level of Stoneman Douglas haven't happened in the past few months, we all know there's still a threat, and I'd like to get a sense of where you are. So the actual question is, how do you feel about Pennridge teachers carrying firearms? Thanks.
Thank you. Next is Ed Mackhouse.
Hello, my name's Ed Mackhouse from Buckingham.
Mr. Mackhouse, could you please press the button in front of you so that your microphone is on the red light?
Is that it?
Perfect.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Ed
can.
Mackhouse, nice to see you all. It's great to see you all here. It's been a while since I've been here. It's a pleasant surprise how great the school district is coming. I'm from Central Bucks, which is the #1 school district still in the state, but I understand you're trying to compete against us, hiring away some of our talent. So I hope you come up to our standards where we're right now we have the top high schools in the state, SATs. My sons got full scholarships, or almost full scholarships at Temple. One's graduating, got an $80,000 a year job offer, and the other one's almost straight A's. One's got 2 B's, and he's doing fine in his first year of chemistry. And I think you're on the right track. Your budget is beyond, you have money for school security, and you're concerned, and you're going to bring up the security at Pennridge to the level of Bucks County. So every other school district now is arming police. I talked to your people, your security people, and all of them are outstanding, and I would trust any of them with my life and the life of my children. There are teachers, though, I was a teacher for 10 years in difficult schools, who don't believe that there's any teacher in Bucks County or in the state who is worthy of protecting their children, that they believe that they should be trusted with the firearms. I think that the school, I was in this, we had Albert Shanker in a union. I was in a union for 10 years, and he listened to, I said, and he would listen to other people, and he trusted the teachers, and teachers would do what's necessary to protect their students. And any sane parent would do whatever is necessary to protect their children. And I think that that with their changes here, you could get it so that there is debate. Diversity doesn't mean just presenting the sides that are anti-American. We have diversity. We should also listen to the side of America's interests. Now there is $1 billion that the steel industry is going to invest in Pennsylvania, give jobs for our students. And there's been hopeless students, people going on drugs, because the country is spending $400 billion on money, which is, we have a deficit of $800 billion. It's equivalent to $80,000 for 10 million American families. So we can return hope to our children that they can get jobs like our children and my children and have a future in America again. So it's not a crime to want to make America great again, and the school district has a responsibility. And I'm full confidence that the school board, if you can stay in power, will make the changes necessary to make Pennridge #1 in the state and the nation. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay. So I just wanted to follow up on the comments. The first question was about about arming teachers. That is actually not legal in the state of Pennsylvania. And as far as our safety, there is a safety committee that the district has, and they used to give monthly reports at our board meetings. But because the information that we can share publicly is not information that everybody's interested in, I think there was some interest in not having those monthly reports, because I think the highlights, the things that parents want to know, what's going on, what kinds of changes are going on in the schools to protect your kids. Most of those things are not things that can be shared in public meetings, because obviously the more we publicize safety measures that are being taken in the schools, the less safe that makes everyone. And so those are decisions that, those are things that are kept confidential. Would you have anything on that? Okay. All right, and then we'll move on to the president's report. Okay, so this is the last time I get to talk about our amazing budget. So since we are approving the final budget,